All right, full disclosure, I am really a Batman guy. Don't get me wrong, I loved Christopher Reeve's Superman and Henry Cavill's Superman, but I always felt like I never really found my Superman. Then I saw the new movie last night and yeah, I'm just gonna own it. I walked out of that theater like a giddy little schoolgirl. Hey guys, welcome to my Superman movie review that I will be keeping spoiler free. So let's review the movie and rate it using my super sophisticated 5-star rating system. I also want to address the too woke claim, which I think is important so you know what you're walking into and if this is for you. And please stay till the end because I have some final thoughts about this movie that I want to share with you guys, but they're important feelings and please, yeah, sharing is caring. And dude, last night was awesome. That thumbnail is not clickbait. It actually happened. We went to the movie all excited and I was trying to keep the expectations down. By the end of the movie, dude, we had tears in our eyes, both of us. She freaking cried a few times. I was wiping at the end of the freaking movie. Tears of joy, because this movie made me feel like a 5-year-old kid watching Saturday morning cartoons. And that is a special place in my heart. Like my Batman shelf, that's got a new edition now, yeah. And I finally have a Superman I connected with. Yeah, I went out and bought the freaking shirt. I had to. That's the excitement. Even the dog seems happier. And listen, I'm going to say a lot of good things here, so let's just get the bad stuff out of the way first, actually. This movie is far from perfect. It's all over the place and pretty much frantic at times. James Gunn has introduced us to Superman and so many freaking characters, so much world building here. It's a lot, and it could definitely seem unfocused, but I was honestly having too much fun for it to bother me because I was actually watching a freaking comic book on a screen. In fact, this might be the most comic booky superhero movie I remember seeing. And it's unapologetic about it either, dude. It freaking embraces that shit. And this is a James Gunn film, which means you are getting a James Gunn Superman. Some people don't like James Gunn's tone and humor. I personally do. And it's here, but it's a lot more wholesome, a little less raunchy, but still really funny, in my opinion. David Corenswet, I was worried about him actually. Nope, my bad. He freaking nails it. But nails it as a Superman that might be a bit divisive, especially for people that they only want Henry Cavill Superman. Bro, this is a totally different tone. This is way more Christopher Reeves, but even more different than that. This guy is a Boy Scout, naive, silly, and has a ton of humility. So he's very comic accurate. Something else is that he's vulnerable, which I love because it gets boring if you're too strong, dude. And it's always the same shit. Oh, look, here comes Lex Luthor. Oh, he pulled kryptonite out of his ass again. Every single freaking movie, it's like, stop. This is why Batman is so interesting. And guess what? Now Superman is too. Not saying you really feel stakes here because this is a really light film, which honestly, after the darker tones of comic book movies for a few years now, this is a breath of fresh air. Everyone has their Superman. Now I do too, yay. But I have to say, I am so happy for every kid who's going to discover this is their Superman. This guy's totally down to earth, relatable, and an awesome superhero role model. Rachel Brosnahan plays Lois Lane. Dude, this is the best Lois Lane. She's no nonsense in just like a fun way. And you could tell one of the reasons these two actors got their parts is because just the real chemistry. This is the most chemistry I've ever felt with a Lois and Clark on big screen. And you really see their relationship grow in this and you believe it. It feels real and organic. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor. Ooh. Unlike other Lex Luthors on the big screen, this guy's got that bald, iconic look right from the get-go. He also doesn't have Jesse Eisenberg's ADHD weird like Riddler Joker thing going on. And Gene Hackman is obviously iconic in the role, but there's something here, man, that I really like. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor here is calculating and blinded by hatred and freaking sadistic, dude. Dude, this guy's got issues. And I know that this could be blasphemous towards Gene Hackman, but this is my favorite Lex Luthor. Eddie Gathegi plays Mr. Terrific. He's awesome. Nathan Fillion plays Guy Gardner, who's a very unlikable Green Lantern in the comics, but he was written so well here because he's still a jerk, but he's a likable jerk. Isabella Merced is Hawk Girl. Maria Gabriela de Faria is Engineer. Sarah Sampaio here plays an excellent Miss Tessmacher, who's a lot of fun to watch in this. And Skylar Gisondo is awesome as Jimmy Olsen. And that's the thing about James Gunn, dude. He knows how to work with a large cast and give everybody their moments. And this universe is looking amazing and bright and colorful. I love the suit. It's old school with a twist of modern. And dude, it just works well in the movie. It does. The Fortress of Solitude looks like the Fortress of Solitude. Yes. The Superman robots are great. And Krypto. Krypto's Krypto. Dude, this honestly feels like an episode of Super Friends, and that is the biggest compliment that I can give something like this. And the moment I can tell you that I knew the DCU was in good hands with James Gunn is that one thing DC has always missed that I thought was Marvel's probably strongest thing is the banter between the characters. You can have the fun little banter and the little jabs. I love that shit because it was just fun to watch. He nailed it here. Yep. The way these characters talk to each other, the superheroes even, dude, the banter between them, I'm like, this guy knew the assignment and he freaking nailed it. And listen, I love Christopher Reeve's iconic Superman. But to me, he only had one great movie out of 4. And Henry Cavill's Superman was right up my alley because I love the dark stuff. But to the kid in me who was a fan of comic books and the Super Friends cartoons, the Saturday morning stuff, I have to say that this is actually my favorite Superman and my favorite Superman movie. And again, it's far from perfect, but the feeling it gave me of hope and just joy, it felt like a breath of fresh air with a Superman in it. And it's magical shit. Yeah. Now, there is a network or two that I will not mention that are calling this movie out as super woke because it has pro-immigrant themes and Superman's cape has an MS-13 on it or something. In all fairness, this Superman movie is about an alien that came from another planet and is trying to find their way and their place in a new home, while a corporate CEO guy who plays his archenemy wants to destroy him. There are also some messages about let's not start wars with each other, and also we should love everyone and try to save people. Have you ever seen a Superman movie? It's literally the story. Fun fact, Superman's 2 creators were sons of Jewish immigrants and created Superman as an immigrant metaphor the year before World War II started, which last I checked was not a great time for the Jews. But just so you know, these messages have always been there, including when you watch these movies as a child, and if they happen to be bothering you now, maybe it's because you grew up relating more to Lex Luthor. I don't know what to say. Okay, so if you watch my channel, I never get into any political crap because I don't like that shit. I avoid the news and all that stuff because I hate seeing that nobody gets along. And whatever you believe in, I'm sure we can all agree, we are pretty divided lately. I left Superman feeling this feeling of hope that I have not felt in a long time. I just felt lighter, and that feeling carried over to the next day when I woke up. I'm like, whoa, almost like the empath in me had their palate cleansed from all the BS in the world. I needed this, man, and I hope that this movie brings you that joy as well. Because happiness, hope, and joy, I think is something we can all use. And this movie, even though it's not perfect, it just felt good for the soul, man. Yeah. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my review. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this freaking movie. Also, like the whole Snyder versus Gunn thing, I did a video on that. I thought I was going to get killed for it. It actually was pretty well received. I'll put a link to that. Also, please like, subscribe, and whatever, all the stuff that I have. And thanks for watching.